All right, everybody, welcome back. It's been a long time. Last time I saw you guys, I was here on Super Bowl Sunday morning and the closing out of the 2025 NFL season. It was the Seattle Seahawks hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. And congrats to them. And a lot has happened since then. We're going to get to it. But we are here tonight because we are in the midst of the 2026 NFL Draft. Round number 2 kicked off about 25 minutes ago, and we are at pick 6, the Las Vegas Raiders. They who had the number 1 overall pick last night, Fernando Mendoza, the least dramatic, least surprising pick in a long time. And we are waiting. This was perfect timing to come on tonight because right now the Giants pick is in. We are waiting for the Giants' 3rd pick in this draft, the 37th pick overall. We'll get into last night. We had 2 picks, number 5 and number 10. Great picks, by the way. I will break that down a little bit more in detail. Not too much because, we don't like to do too much technical here, but we're going to discuss it. But we have some needs. We had defensive line. We have offensive line. We need corners. We need linebackers. And we definitely need another weapon for Mr. Jackson Dart. So we're waiting here for the Giants pick to come in. So far off the board for the NFL, pick number 33, first pick in the second round was Dejon Stribling, went to the 49ers, the wide receiver out of Mississippi, which was kind of a shock because I thought this was going to be a defensive tackle, cornerback heavy first half of the second round. But right now, we have a receiver, a guard, an edge rusher, TJ Parker. He went to him from Clemson. He went to the Buffalo Bills. And another defensive tackle. Finally, Caden McDonald got picked. Everyone thought he was going to be a first rounder. He did not, in fact, go in the first round. And he is a big, big defensive tackle out of Ohio State. Good run stopper. Good pickup by the Houston Texans. And you were waiting right now for the New York Giants pick to be announced. And I feel like it might be a cornerback. It could be the kid from Tennessee. We'll see here in a few minutes when the commissioner makes his announcement here that the Giants have picked. So if you're watching on Instagram, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on TikTok, welcome back to Big Blue Confidential. I am so happy to be here. It has been a very, very busy few months for me in particular. It is lacrosse season. I literally just came from the practice field. We're 6 games into the season, so it's a little bit busy. That's why I've kind of been off to the side, not really interacting so much. But I'm back. This is the official kickoff to the 2026 season. Once we get the draft done, we'll go into the schedule announcement. It's on or about May 13th that we'll see the schedule pop up. So I'm actually hoping for the first week to be away. Hopefully not Dallas because I'm trying to get to Dallas and I don't want to go week 1. But I'm excited. I am beyond excited for the 2026 version of the New York Football Giants for many, many reasons. 1, actually 2 being the young men that were picked by the New York Giants last night. We picked ourselves up a hell of a linebacker out of Ohio State, Arbel Reese, who incredibly fell to us amazingly. Thank you. I wanted to thank the Jets, but the Jets picked Bailey, and I thought that was a smart pick for the Jets. I mean, the Jets are going to jet, right? We say the Mets are going to Met, the Jets are going to jet. The Jets are always awesome. That's like the only time Jet fans get excited is the draft, because after the draft, that's the end of your excitement for the year, Jet man. Sorry, right? They're not ready to compete. By the way, the Giants pick is in, and it has been announced, and I was right. Number 37 overall, the New York Giants select Colton Hood, cornerback from GBO. My Tennessee Volunteers. I like it very much. This kid is an absolute stud at the corner, and he is going to be a huge piece, a huge addition to the Giants, who are really making a push to shore up that defense. And I know that Reese is kind of a pass rushing guy. And I know we're loaded with pass rushers, but hear me out. I feel like we could see number 5 traded before the end of the weekend. We could see Tibbs wearing a different uniform in 2026. I feel like with the addition of Reese, the Giants may look to trade Thibodeau. We already traded Dexter Lawrence, Sexy Dexy, now a member of the Cincinnati Bengals, and that afforded us the ability to pick at number 10. We went offensive line protection for Jackson Dart, and I'm very happy about this. A lot of Giant fans, picking a right guard or right tackle, he's going to be moved to guard for sure because Illuminor is our right tackle. They're going to move him to guard. He's a big Asian, or what do they call it? Pacific Islander, Pacific American,
Samoan.
He's Samoan. I think he's. I don't know if
so.
he's Samoan. He might be Samoan, but he's a Pacific Islander, and he is a big boy. And he was very high grade by all the quote unquote experts. I thought it was a very good pick. I gave the Giants overall round 1. I gave the Giants an A to an A minus. Drafting a punter, Teddy. Listen, you better worry about your head coach right now with his little post game activities. Don't be coming in here saying the Giants are picking a punter. Now, listen, if Dave Gettleman was still the general manager, I would say yeah. But the other big news in New York Giant land, besides trading Dex, besides the draft, it was the acquisition of a brand new head coach. It's a new era of Giant football. The John Harbaugh era in New York is officially begun. He has been making moves. We have been making deals all over the place. And I, for one, as a Giant fan, which I know that many of my fellow Giant fans are excited to have Coach Harbaugh. I mean, you could see day one at his press conference, he introduced the smiles on the faces of the ownership, the smiles on the faces of the fans, the players. Everybody was excited that we got Coach Harbaugh, and it was a great move by the Giants picking him up. I mean, it was, again, everybody kind of knew it was going to happen. You know, they're paying him a boatload of money. I think the only person that wasn't thrilled about Coach Harbaugh was probably Joe Schoen. But listen, you got to give Joe Schoen some credit, right? Making the deal with Dex for the 10th overall pick. That was a steal because, let's be honest, Dexter Lawrence has not been Dexter Lawrence for the last 2 years. Yes, I know in 2024 he was hurt. Yes, I know in 2025 he was trying to make a recovery from that injury, but I feel like he got paid and he got lazy. He put on some weight last year, and Carl Banks called him out. I think it was back in like week 6 or 7. I think Carl called him out, basically said he was invisible. He hasn't pulled his weight, so to speak, and a lot of people killed Carl for that. And me included, I was like, man, I think Carl's being a little hard on Dex. But I was wrong, and he was absolutely right. You know, I love Carl. If you know me, you know Carl's my favorite Giant in the history of the Giants. My whole life, Carl Banks has been my favorite player, and I was a little critical of him for speaking out against Sexy Dexy. And listen, I know there's a lot of fans, and as fans, we tend to hang on to players a little bit, right? We hang on to players, and we get wrapped around that player. And I understand that, right? I understand that you find a guy that you love, and then he gets moved, he gets traded, and you're angry at the organization for doing what they thought was the right thing, right? We as fans get very emotional about these things because, again, we get attached to players, and when they go, we immediately feel like lashing out. But this was the right move by the Giants, right? We picked up some high draft capital, and we got rid of some money in the cap, right? And we moved him to a place where he's going to have a chance to win. You know, good for him. I once a Giant, always a Giant. I have nothing but love for Dex. I hope he does well. I'm still going to root for him. But I thought the way he kind of went out like a punk, and I didn't like the way he did it, right? I thought it was his agent was saying kind of the wrong things. You know, I don't understand why he would not want to be part of this organization. Maybe he didn't like Dable, because I know he had said before that he wasn't happy. You know, was it a ploy to try to get more money? And listen, you were in year 2 or I think he was going into year 3 of his contract, a 4-year deal, and he wanted more money. But I'm sorry, you did not perform you didn't even live up to the contract that you had, and you wanted to get more money. And I know it. I know that I'm always 99% of the time I'm going to side with the players in this, because football is that sport where your lifespan, so to speak, as a football player in the NFL is not very long. You don't have there's a finite amount of time that you can play football, and if you've ever played football at any level, you know it's a very physically demanding sport. And these guys got to get paid. I mean, listen, it's an obscene amount of money, I know, but if you're going to pay these guys should get paid. I'm always going to side with the players, but in this case, I was not with Dex. I was not with him because I felt like his contract was a good deal for the Giants. I mean, it's still a crazy amount of money, no matter what you say. That $25 million a year, something like that. And I feel like you're trying to get more money, but your statistics and your performance over the last 2 years, yes, 2024 was hurt. I do understand that. But you did not, last year you were bad. You disappeared at times. We didn't hear your name called. You weren't that force that you had been in the past. And now you want more money. I'm sorry. I can't get on board with that. But he's gone. He's no longer with us. I wish him the best. We did end up with a pick out of that. We get the 10th overall pick. And by the way, the Raiders just picked up Tre'Davious Stukes out of Arizona. So he's a safety out of Arizona. So that's I thought they would go receiver, trying to get another guy for Mendoza, but we'll see. The Chiefs are on the clock right now, but let's go back over to the New York Giants, because that's really what we're here, right? This is Big Blue Confidential. This ain't the NFL Confidential, right? We're going to talk about what happened last night with the Giants, why I gave them an A minus on the draft. Listen, I saw the pieces falling into place. Obviously, we knew Mendoza was going 1, right? So the draft really didn't start until round 2, or I'm sorry, pick 2. That was the Jets. And honestly, that was kind of a no-brainer for the Jets, right? Bailey was their guy. He's a good edge rusher. It's going to help them a lot. You know, if you follow more than the Giants, you still follow the NFL, you understand how difficult it is to go through an entire season and not have an interception. Like, I think that has never, I mean, I'm just coming off with the top of my head with this. I'm pretty sure before that last year, an NFL team has never done that before, right? And not in my lifetime. I don't think that a team has ever gone a whole season without one interception. I mean, you figure at one point, a quarterback is going to make an oops and throw it to somebody on your team, and you're going to just fall onto an interception. But nope, not the Jets. Not the Jets. Whole entire season. Now, that came with the pass rush. They had the lowest sack total in the league last year. I think they were 32nd in the league in sacks. And that is directly tied to why they don't get interceptions. You don't put pressure on the quarterback. He's not going to rush his throws. He's not going to make bad throws. You aren't going to get interceptions. And now they have that guy. Now they have a guy. Maybe they'll get one. Maybe they'll get an interception in 2026. Who knows? But when that happened and you started with the Cardinals at 3, I figured they would go maybe a receiver because, I mean, let's be honest. The Arizona Cardinals are not a good football team. They don't have a quarterback right now. They have a pretty damn good receiver. But when they picked Jeremiah Love at 3, now I know there was a lot of Giant fans. My friend Kelly and her husband Brian, big Notre Dame fans. They were rooting for Love to come to the Giants, and I get that. That was like me rooting for Saquon back in 2018 when we drafted him out of Penn State. He was my favorite player at Penn State, and I could not have been more happy that we picked him. So I understand that. But when they didn't pick him, and the Cardinals took him at 3, I was like, oh, dear Lord. Right? Because I was thinking Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State, or Styles, also out of Ohio State. He would have been a great pick. But I was thinking Caleb Downs because he's that guy. He's that dude. Well, immediately when I thought they might get Reese, try to get better. I mean, they obviously got better picking Julian Love. The kid's an incredible back. But I said, okay. I feel like the Titans were going for an offensive weapon, right? With Dable being the offensive guy, I figured they were going to go get an offensive weapon. So I said, okay, there's a really good chance that Arvell Reese could be a New York Giant here in about 10 minutes. And sure enough, the Titans picked Carnell Tate, another Ohio State guy. I mean, geez, how many guys they have drafted in the first round? Tons. And then I said, that's it. I would have pushed all my chips to the middle of the table and said Arvell Reese is going to be our pick. And sure enough, man, I was so excited. I have not been that excited about a New York Giants first round pick probably since, well, I mean, I was pretty excited about Carter, like him being a Penn State guy. But Saquon was the last time I was that excited because this guy is a game changer. Now, will he be an edge rusher? That remains to be seen. My good buddy Andy Manuel. I would say Andrew Thomas. I'm thinking I got Giants on the brain. My good buddy Andy Manuel, another huge Giant fan. He's one of my closest friends. He said up on the screen they're going to trade Thibodeau. I 1,000% agree with you on that, Andy. I feel like the Giants trade Thibodeau, even though Adam Schefter reported last night, right after the Giants picked Reese, that the Giants did not plan on trading Kayvon Thibodeau. I said, no, immediately, nah, that's a smokescreen. There's no way. They can't have that many guys. But you have Burns, you got Carter, and now you have Reese. I mean, we're set up. But he can also play inside linebacker. So I feel like they could keep him and move Reese inside on the inside. But why not? Why would you not take advantage of it? Because let's be honest, Tibbs has been okay. He's been okay, but he hasn't lived up to that first round hype. All the hype that we had when we picked him, he has not lived up to that. So if they traded him, and I was thinking to myself, I knew the 49ers had the first pick overall tonight, or first pick in the second round. I said, man, and the Niners need pass rush. I said, man, what if we trade Kayvon Thibodeau to the 49ers and we can get Brandon Ayuk? I would do that in a second, because that gives you your offensive weapon for Dart, and it helps Neighbors. That would have been a great trade, but nope, that didn't happen. That was kind of a pipe dream. I didn't believe it was going to happen, but I thought maybe there was a chance. But I feel like the Giants are not done. I have to go check. I'm going to go look here. I don't think the Giants have a third round pick. Pretty sure that we do not have a third round pick. I do not think so. And I am correct. We do not have a third round pick. So right now, folks, the Giants are done for the night unless we make another trade. The Giants are done for the night, which kind of takes a little bit of the excitement away from me. But it also lets me take a little bit of time off here. So I kind of like that. I like not having to worry about and hang in the balance here, waiting for the Giants to pick another player. But I like Hood. He's a nice cornerback. He's a nice cornerback. 6 foot, 195 pounds, speed. I'm very happy with this. Let me look and see if I can get some stats on this guy. No, ESPN, your website sucks.
It's like the worst to navigate lately.
It is. It has not been great. I probably could go on NFL.com and find it, but yeah, I mean, let's see. Another pick is in. Denzel Boston, that guy, the receiver out of Washington, he goes to the Browns. Listen, the Browns have had a good draft. The Browns have had a very good draft. I'm good for them. Mason Thomas, the edge rusher from Oklahoma, he goes to the Chiefs at 40th. And then the Bengals just picked Cassius Howell, another edge rusher off the board. He's a big dude and super fast. He's a terror. He's from Texas A&M. So that's another big pick. And the Saints are on the clock right now. Actually, the Saints pick just came in. The Miami Dolphins are on the clock. The Dolphins, like, when you look at the Dolphins, what they need, it's literally everything. It's like the entire team. Saints just picked Christian Miller, another defensive tackle off the board. Christian Miller from Georgia, another solid player. Those SEC defensive tackles, man. SEC and Big Ten, they rule the roost. And they run college football, basically. You could have Big 12 or whoever else is out there, but the Big Ten and the SEC rule college football. Scroll up real quick on the comments when you're done over there, Rye. I'm going to see what Teddy said. Not a big Giants fan.
So, not a big Giants fan. But they had a solid round last night. Going to complete, keep Dart healthy, and big things can happen.
Yes, I agree with that. Right, Maila is so good. This kid, first of all, I mean, I liked almost every single player on the Hurricanes offensive line. Shout out to my buddy Kev, who's a big Hurricanes fan. But I really like this kid. Let me see. I'm going to go back to round one here. I'm at the NFL.com website. This has got to be better. All right, let's see. 6'5", and a half. I mean, why are we saying 6'5" and a half? 6'5" and a half, 330 pounds, 33 and a quarter inch arm length, almost an 11-inch hand. That's a huge hand. And its wingspan is enormous. It's almost 81 inches. That's big. So I listen, he got a total score. NFL gave him a 145.43 total score for a draft, and that's pretty good. Not the most athletic guy, but he's big and he's strong. He does move pretty quick. He gets downfield. He makes blocks downfield. If you follow any of the Miami Hurricanes stuff, or you watched the national championship, you've seen this guy moving guys off the ball, and that's exactly what the Giants need, right? And I love what he said last night on national television. He gets up and they're interviewing him on one of the channels. I don't know if it was ESPN or NFL Network, and they're interviewing him, and he looks right at the camera and he says, "Jackson Dart, I will die for you. I'm willing to die for you." And that's what you want your players to say, especially the guys who are protecting you. If you're Jackson Dart, you got to feel pretty damn good about that. I love that he said that. I stood up in the living room. I was like, let's go. Let's go, baby. I love it, man. I am so juiced for this season. I don't remember the last time I was just excited about a Giants football season. I feel like I might have said that a couple times over the last few years.
Yep.
But hey, let's also get away from the draft for a second again, and let's talk about something that's going on in New York right now that I know a lot of my fellow Giant fans are kind of excited about. I'm leaning like 70-30 to yes on this, but that 30% of me just says, I don't know. They're talking about, we had Odell Beckham Jr. in the building for a workout last week. And by all accounts, he had a great workout. I know that he has a good relationship with Coach Harbaugh. Obviously, he loves the Giants. This is where he got his start. I'm still a huge fan of Odell, but I uncharacteristically rooted for an NFC team in the Super Bowl, kind of, sort of, until he got hurt. Then I was done with them. I wanted Odell to get a ring when he was with the Rams, and he ended up getting the ring, but he blew his knee out in the game, and he was done for the day. And he was balling in that game too. They might have walked away with it if Odell did not get hurt, but they worked out Odell Beckham Jr. Now, he said he would come back to the Giants for veterans minimum contract. Whether that is true or not, that remains to be seen. Because if you're his agent, you're like, yo, you're trying to get paid. Like, yo, you need to ask for some more money. Especially if you had a really good workout, you got a little bit of leverage. They said he was fast, and I like to hear that because I worry about his knee. And that's what I worry about, right? Because you have those guys that stick around too long, right? Like, credit to Barry Sanders, who was so great, and he didn't stick around. Or he just decided to pack it in one day. And he didn't stick around. But you got guys like Jerry Rice who just remember, people forget he played his last year, I think, with the Seahawks. Like the tiny dreadlock Jerry Rice was terrible. He was washed. Guys stick around too long because they just can't let go. I feel like there's other guys that did the same thing, right? I can't think of. I could picture his. I want to say it was Terrell Owens. Maybe I don't remember who it was. But this guys that just hang around way too long. And they bounce from team to team, and they're just like, bro, just hang it up. But Odell, by all accounts, he has the fire to play. And if the reports from his workout are true, that could be a huge asset for the Giants. Not only could he help them, obviously, on the field, but he could help mentor Malik Neighbors, which would be huge. And I would think that because I feel like Neighbors is kind of in the same mold as Odell or what he was with the Giants when he came up. Because the Neighbors is entering his third season now, coming this year, and he's bouncing back from that awful knee injury. I mean, that was the day we won our first game. That was Jackson Dart's first start, and I still remember being up in 334, row 18, seat number 6, looking down on the sidelines right in front of me and seeing Malik Neighbors on his back and the training staff surrounding him. Like, it's just typical Giant stuff. But I feel like we have reversed our fortunes by, and good luck to Coach Dable, by the way, who is now the offensive coordinator in Tennessee. Good luck to him. Because I stand by that. I love Coach Dable. I felt like he kind of fell out of favor, especially after Wink Martindale went away with that whole mess. But I wish him the best because I kind of I know so many people hated him and whatever. I liked him. I hope he does well in Tennessee. Who, by the way, Giant fans, we host the Titans this year. So that's going to be a good time. I'm definitely going to be at that one. That I would like this. I am not going to boo. I don't boo players. I booed the team, but I won't boo coaches. I won't boo the players. I mean, the guy, he gave it his all while he was here. I'm not going to blame him. We had that one year we went to the playoffs with Daniel Jones, right? Daniel Jones took us to the playoffs, got himself paid. But I hope Coach Dable does well in Tennessee. I think he's with Rob Saleh as the head coach down there now because he went from the 49ers to be back to a head coaching position because nobody has success as a Jet. Unless your name is, what was his name? Weeb Eubanks, I think his name was, the coach of the Jets. Will you check that for me? I think the coach of the Jets when they won their only Super Bowl in 69, I believe. I do think the coach was Weeb Eubanks, but I could be wrong. I have been before and I will be again. But yeah, guys, if you're a Giant fan, you have to be fired up for the season because we have we have our coach, we have our coaching staff.
It was Webb.
Oh, it was Weeb Eubanks?
Eubanks.
Yeah.
Webb Eubanks.
Webb. I thought it was Weeb. Webb. Yeah. Webb.
Weeble.
Weeble. Webby. Weeb. It was Eubanks. I was right.
1969.
Yep. 1969. So that was the last time the Jets had a coach. I mean, listen, you can't say anything bad about the Tuna, and I never will. I never say anything about Coach Parcells bad ever but the Jets have had some pretty awful coaches, right? How about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys? Haven Kincaid, one of my athletes on Chirping the Coach. Because you can say whatever you want here because we're not on the field, Haven. Just remember, you got to come back to practice someday. But listen, the Cowboys are terrible. They made a good pick. Styles was a good pick by them. Or not Styles. Downs was a good pick by them. They moved up to get him. It was a good pick. They moved up one spot from 12 to 11 to pick him. So, good pick. But the Cowboys need way more than that. Way more than a linebacker, right? You need corners. You have a quarterback who's decent, but at the end, Dak beat Dakin at the end, just so you know. But they need way more than that. That was a good draft for the Cowboys. The Jets had a great draft yesterday. The Giants had a great draft yesterday. The Browns, I think the Browns, right now the Cleveland Browns are winning the 2026 draft. That'll probably be all they win in 2026. But they're winning the NFL draft right now. And good for them. Because I went to last week, right? I went to Cleveland to watch my son play lacrosse. And I had the full day because they had a night game. So I had the full day in Cleveland. And I did visit the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which, by the way, if you ever find yourself in Cleveland and you have some time to kill, because I don't know why anyone would ever go to Cleveland other than for a sporting event. But first of all, Cleveland is a great city. I'd been there before, but it was only for a couple of days and I didn't see the sun because I went to the Yankee game and it was at night. But I walked around the city a little bit. It was nice, man. Cleveland actually shocked me. And everybody makes fun of it for being like the mistake by the lake and Lake Erie, yada, yada, yada. Lake Erie looked pretty clean. I definitely liked the Navy Memorial they had on the pier there. And I did go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Definitely hit that up if you ever go to Cleveland and you have time. It was worth the $34.50 it cost me to get in. I enjoyed it. I was in there for about 3 hours and I enjoyed every single second I was there. But I did also go across the street to lose track of what these stadiums are called now. Whatever this Browns stadium is right next door to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and is actually pretty cool. I did go into the pro shop and I did not buy any Cleveland Browns gear. However, I did buy a t-shirt that said Dog Pound on it because someday I'm going to go to see a game there and sit in the dog pound. I want to go root for the Browns and sit in the dog pound with those animals. It's just like I want to go to Vegas and go to a Raiders game and sit in the black hole because I just want to experience that. Because you ain't going to get that anywhere else, right? Like you can go to Philly, that's just a whole stadium full of assholes. But you go, they should call it the toilet bowl. It's just full of assholes, right? But no, you go to places like the dog pound and you go to the black hole. Like where else, guys? If you're watching, is there any other fan base that has a nickname? Bill's Mafia, been there, done that. That's awesome. Other than a Giant game, a Giant tailgate, that was the absolute best tailgate. Because listen, you will never convince me that there's a better tailgate than we get at J18. My family at J18 is the absolute goat of tailgating, but the Buffalo Bills are right behind us, in my humble opinion. Where do you think D'Angelo Pons of India? I don't know. There's a lot of teams that need corner, right? A lot of teams that need corner. So we'll see. Let's get back to the draft here because I know. Get back into round 2. How my TikTok people doing? I miss you guys, man. I tried. I've been trying to keep up. I've posted a few things here and there, but I've just been so busy with lacrosse season, my lacrosse season, my son's lacrosse season. They're having a great season. They're the number 2 seed in the Ohio Athletic Conference. They have a bye straight to the semifinals next Wednesday evening. Don't know who they're playing yet because the quarterfinals are tomorrow. But I'm fully expecting another trip out to Berea, Ohio, which is a little suburb of Cleveland, because we did lose to. I'm not even going to say their name because they don't get that. They don't get me saying their name on the air. But I did go out. We drop a 1-goal game to them last week when I went out there, and I do believe that will be the matchup for the OAC championship to see who goes to the NCAA tournament. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, listen, I'm very excited about all of this, and this whole season is going to be great. I'll be back full time. My TikTok peeps, how do you feel about Leak on the podcast? Like, I'm Fat Money, dude. If you could get Leak on my podcast, I'll get. Are you talking about my podcast? Because let me tell you, you get Leak in here, me and that dude will have a great time. I love that guy, and he's electric, and I cannot wait to have him back. I'm hoping he comes back full strength because. If he does, look out, man. Look out, because the New York Giants, they're going to make noise. People say what they want because we haven't had any reason to be excited about anything in a long time, right? We've had one playoff win since 2011. We've been to the playoffs twice, lost one to the Packers. We're not going to talk about that because that was the boat trip game. And then we had the game against the mighty Minnesota Vikings, who got beat by Daniel Jones on the road in 2024. So 2023. 2020. Was it 2020? 23? Yeah, 23. That was the year that Jones won and got his contract. Got that $160 million contract. And he went to Indianapolis. I think Indianapolis re-signed him too. But Daniel Jones balled out for a little bit, but then he remembered he was Daniel Jones, and I supported him because he was my quarterback. Just like I'll support anybody who's a New York Giants sign, even if I don't like him personally. I will still support him. Let's see. So guys, what questions do you have? What do you got going on? What are my TikTok people doing? I am very excited to be back on the pod because we have some other exciting things that Ryan and I are working on. Like, I don't want to be too descriptive because I want it to be a fun kind of surprise, cool thing that we're putting together. But we've been discussing it kind of off and on over the last few days. And I think the idea we have, and we're going to get away from the football aspect of it for a while. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I think it'll be fun because it'll be both of us on the show, and we'll have some guests coming in here, and it'll be actually kind of fun. You want to? Thanks. Great input. Yeah.
That's great, Scott. That's great.
Yeah, great.
I think that was good. That's not mysterious at all.
It's not mysterious at all. Let's go back to round 2. Let's see. Man, they're just flying off the shelf now, right? They're a Michigan guy, Jacob Rodriguez, that stud linebacker from Texas Tech. He goes to the Miami Dolphins at 43. 44, Derek Moore, a stud edge, another edge rusher off the board. The edge rushers are getting some love here in the second round. Derek Moore from Michigan, another edge rusher just went to Baltimore. Zion Young, another stud from he's out of Missouri, and now the Buccaneers are on the clock. Yes, I did like my go pick. I did not want. Listen, I would not have been mad if they picked Downs, but I did love the pick. If we were not going to pick Downs at 10, then I'm glad that we went offensive line, because that kid is going to be a problem for other defenses. And listen, we play in the NFC East. Okay. It's not a secret that the Philadelphia Eagles have one of, if not the best defensive line in the NFL. And we have to stop that. If we want to beat Philly, you want to win the division, you want to beat Philly, you're going to have to stop their defensive line. And the best way to do that is to get some absolute, what do they call them? Hog mollies. You got to get some hog mollies on that offensive line. And that's exactly what we did. I think Mailloux is a great pick. I feel like the Giants did great with that. You know, reading the room, everybody wants a sexy pick, right? Everybody wanted Downs because, no secret, we were terrible against the run, right? But everybody's been shitting on the offensive line for 10 years, right? And now we go get an offensive line and people don't like it. Come on. What do you want? I feel like should have been Downs and Styles. Well, I mean, nope, I disagree with you, because Reese was the pick. You know, do your homework, man. I mean, everyone likes Styles. Styles has a knee problem, just so you know. And it's a great pick by the Commanders, but Styles has a knee problem, and I think that kind of scared him off. But when the Arvell Reese fell to us at 5, you have to pick that guy. You have to pick him. And we can differ in opinion, and that's okay. But I really feel like the Giants nailed it on both of those. So we'll see. Bucks are on the clock right now. Bucks pick is in. The Colts are on the clock. They're looking for an edge rusher, too. It's almost everybody wants that edge rusher, right? Because the game is won and lost in the trenches, guys. I know this is a quarterback-driven league, but the game is won and lost in the trenches, right? You got to have the offensive line. You got to have studs that can rush the passer. And that's what guys are doing right now. Look at the second round so far. Linebacker, edge, linebacker, defensive tackle. I mean, that's where you're winning the game right there, guys. Because if you want to stop teams that have great offenses, you have to be able to get to the quarterback. It's just the way it is. Oh, my man, Mark G-Man. Let me give my shout out to my man, Mark the G-Man Stewart. That's a J18 buddy. He is one of the nicest dudes you've ever met in your life. And he's a great guy. And thanks for popping on the pod, Mark. I appreciate you, buddy. And I hope you have a great day today. Oh, yeah, this has been a great draft for a lot of teams. I feel like the Giants definitely killed it. I mean, they got a top grade. Josiah Trider from Missouri. Missouri, look at Missouri popping in there and all these higher picks, right? We're in the second round. We're at the 15th pick of the second round, and Missouri has already got 2 guys off the board. Love that for them.
Right. Ohio's been dominating too.
Ohio State, Ohio State owned the first round.
Yeah.
Especially on defense. But yeah, listen, I thought the Giants might go receiver at 5. But again, I cannot even stress enough. When Arvell Reese fell to us at 5, there was not another guy you had to pick there, right?
What do you think the Falcons are going to go with? Because right now NFL's reporting they need wide receiver, OL, DL, CB.
Yeah, they listen.
What do you think they're going to go with?
They need weapons on offense. They need weapons on offense, but they also need someone to protect the quarterback. So it's hard to say because they need so much. They need so much. So I don't know. The Steelers need a quarterback. The Steelers need a quarterback. I'll say it again. The Steelers need a quarterback. I still feel that Aaron Rodgers is coming back for one more year. Rumors about Reader coming over from Detroit. Okay. I'll take that. But for what? Is he a free agent? I'm not sure. I have to look that up. Or is that a trade? But listen, the Steelers, they need a quarterback. Mason Rudolph, I think, is the backup in Pittsburgh, and he's not a starting NFL quarterback. I went to the Steelers game last year, the one that Aaron Rodgers broke his wrist, and they brought that kid in, and it was not good for them. So if I'm a Steeler fan, I want a quarterback. number one. That's their number one need. I do believe they probably need a receiver. They have two pretty good tight ends, but I feel like they need a receiver, a quarterback, and maybe some protection. So who even knows? And they did go receiver. Steelers pick is in. Steelers go with Jeremy Bernard, and big wide receiver from Bama. Sorry, I was trying to pick through my brain. He's from Bama. Oh, thank you for that. So my awesome producer just pulled up the draft up on my big board here. I just had it on my laptop. So
we're gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna put you on the screen.
Well, whoever Ryan, I don't know what Ryan said. I don't know who Ryan is, but Ryan says on TikTok, he's Jeremiah Love was not the correct move. I'm happy we did not get him. So I am also happy that we did not get him because I also felt like that was not the right move. However, I would not have been angry with them if they had picked him because that kid is an absolute beast. And the Cardinals, I feel like he's going to be wasted in Arizona, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I thought that picking a running back at 5 would not have been a good idea. Right, because I saw so many Giant fans like, that's got to be the pick. That's got to be the pick. But coincidentally, those were the same dopes that were saying, but not all of them. I'm going to say, because I know some people that just liked him and wanted him to be the pick. But there was a lot of people that were saying it who were the same people that were shitting on the Giants for picking Saquon at 2 overall back then. So I feel like, this might be a thing with most fan bases, but I can only relate to my fan base. When some of these people are never happy, like no matter who we picked, they were going to be mad about it. And I've already seen people today, right? Today, in some well-known Facebook pages for Giant fans, there were fans that were already saying to fire Joe Schoen. I don't know if it's a continuation; they just wanted him fired, or they want him fired because of what he did last night. It doesn't make any sense because both of those picks helped this team tremendously. And I will go on a limb. I'll go out right now. Right? What's today's date? April 24th at 8:07 p.m. I will say the New York Giants will make the playoffs this year. Hang it up. Write it down. And if I'm wrong, I'll own it. But I just have that feeling. I feel like, listen, we're not going to the Super Bowl. I think the Giants will make the playoffs at 9-8 this year. Maybe 10-8, 10-7, but I feel 9-8. So we'll see. Texans took McDonald from us. Yeah, well, listen, young Manasseh. I don't know if I'm saying your screen name wrong. I'm sorry. Says he's sick that Texans took McDonald from us. Well, the only way we were getting McDonald is if we moved up in the second round. It's the only way we were getting him. Would have been nice. I would like to have had him because he's a stud defensive tackle, but I don't feel like we had a shot at him unless we picked him earlier. We moved up because he wasn't falling to us at the 37th pick. Not going to happen. So we'll see. Who do you think is going to be the first string quarterback this year? For who? The Giants? It's not. I mean, it's Jackson Dart all day long, forever. It's not even a question. I don't even think that is even a question. I mean, we don't have anybody. I mean, I love Jameis, but he's not the starting quarterback. It's Jackson Dart, unless he gets hurt. But God, please no. What grade would you give the Colton Hood pick? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta evaluate that because I didn't. You know what? I honestly, I like this kid. I watched Tennessee I root for Tennessee. Okay, I like Penn State, but I love Tennessee. That's where I'm moving to eventually. I'll be moving to Knoxville. I like this kid, right? He had some knee injuries, but he recovered nicely. He's young, right? He's 5'11". He's almost 6 foot tall. He's 193 pounds. He's got a great reach. His wingspan is huge. He's fast, and he's a ball hawk. So I kind of like. I would give the Colton Hood because he was a need. Okay, remember this when I give you this grade. Remember that corner is a huge need for the Giants. Like anybody that we get on defense right now is a need.
I
would probably give it a B minus, right? Because
yeah, that's pretty close.
I think
The internet says B plus.
okay, give it that's
Yeah.
a B. I would give it a B. I would give it a B. I can see a B plus, but I would give it a B minus.
Yeah.
Opinion on Kayvon interest to the Saints. Well, it depends on if what we get in return for Kayvon. I'm open to trading Kayvon if we can get a good return for him. Right? We're not going to just give him away. This is where Joe Shane is good. Okay, you can say this about Joe Shane, about handling the Saquon thing, about drafting, whatever. But this is where Joe Shane is good. He's good at making trades. Right? He's very good at making trades. So I like it. I would like to see him moved if we're going to move him, or if we plan on putting Reese and have his hand on the ground, be a defensive lineman and have him be off the edge, then we got to get something for Kayvon. We can't just get him. He was a first round pick, so we can't just let him go for nothing. So if the Saints want him, you got to show me the money, right? Jerry Maguire, show me the money. I want something for him. Just like Dex. You want Dex? Show me the money. I'm actually shocked that we got a 10th round pick from him. I thought we would probably get a late first round, maybe a second and a third, and maybe a player. I don't know. I didn't think we were going to get a 10th overall pick, so all the love goes to Joe Shane for that. I don't think that we are stacked at tight end. I don't agree with that. I think we have two decent tight ends. I don't think we have great tight ends, right? Because you have to remember we lost one. Bellinger went to the Titans. Bellinger went to play for Dabes in Tennessee. So he's in Nashville now. So I just think that I don't know. A tight end would be nice, but I'm just not sure that. Not this early, because we have way more pressing needs right now, right? We got our offensive lineman. We still need defense. We still need a receiver. But that's what I'm looking for, a receiver. I think Likely is going to have. Yeah, I think Likely, because everybody forgets that, right? Everybody forgets that the Giants got Isaiah Likely. That's a great signing. Why would you not be excited, right? Because let's go back. I'm going to move all the way back. Okay, we got rid of Bobby O, which, listen, that's the other thing too. We didn't talk about that. Bobby Okereke was a solid piece for the Giants for the whole time he was here. I have nothing bad to say about Bobby Okereke. His run defense, not great. That's the only thing I can think of to say about Bobby O. But the guy was a baller. He played every snap. I think 2 years in a row, he played every snap. We also have Micah McFadden coming back next year. Hopefully he comes back strong, because losing him last year hurt. People don't give him that kid enough credit. He was solid in the middle, and we lost him in that Redskins game, or sorry, the Commanders. We lost him in that first game of the year. That's tough, man. And that really put us in a hole, because we were not deep at all at linebacker. So, yeah, we got rid of Hudson. We got rid of Anthony Johnson. Tremaine Edmonds signed a contract. Guys, forget about that too. We signed Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. That was a huge pick, right? We got Darnell Mooney. I don't know. But we all have to be excited about Graham Gano. Graham Gano good is gone. Ryan Miller, LA, Brandon Allen. Brandon Allen's going to be our backup quarterback this year. But yeah, listen, we have some pieces, right? I don't think this is a Super Bowl team yet. Give Harbaugh another year, right? So if we finish with 8 wins, say we finish 8-9, are you happy, Giants fans? Are you happy if we finish 8-9? Think about what we have. I still think this is a 9-8 team. I think this could be a 10-7 team if some things fall our way, which they usually don't. But you have to give How much rope do you give Harbaugh? If we go 7-10 this year, are you want him fired? That what you want? Are you going to call for him to be fired if we go 7-10? Because I listen, look at who we got this year. 7 wins is definitely attainable, at least. Okay, last year, this past season, if we had finished games, the Giants could have been a playoff team last year. If they had been able to stop anyone in the fourth quarter defensively, because offense did enough. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. We didn't make the playoffs not because of the offense. We didn't make the playoffs because the defense was ass. Couldn't stop the run. Couldn't stop anybody. The Lions game, the Broncos games. I still get sick to my stomach thinking about the Broncos game. The Bears game. Those 3 games were games that we should have won. So, listen, it's only going to get better. Carter is going to be better this year. Once he got his chin strap buckled right, and they figured him out, and they fixed his attitude. That guy was an absolute force. And listen, even before that, he wasn't putting up sack numbers. But I have to go check again. I'm just flying off the top of my head here. He was probably top 3 or 4 in the league in quarterback pressures. Stat boy, look that up.
What was the question?
Where was Abdul Carter ranked in quarterback pressures last year in the NFL? I'm guaranteeing you he was at least in the top 5. Oh, see, look, my audience on TikTok is half of my lacrosse team. I'm figuring it all out right now. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the comment section, and I'm seeing it's half of my high school kids.
Pressure is ranked top 5 nationally.
Yep, that's what I said. So you can say whatever you want, that he's this, he's that, he didn't put up sack numbers, because people just like to see the big numbers, right? Like, how many home runs in baseball? How many home runs did you hit? Oh, you suck, right? Oh, he hit 343 and drove in 92 runs, but he only hit 17 home runs. People want to see the big, sexy numbers, right? They want the sacks, they want the interceptions, they want the touchdown passes, right? They want the home runs, they want the big numbers, the big things. But you got to look at the smaller things sometimes to see what a guy really is. And I do believe he finished very strong. Ben Rice is raking right now. Hey, yeah, you know what? Let's give it, while we're waiting for some more draft picks again. Let's talk about that just for a second.
New York, a bunch popping in. I mean, they're flying through this right now. They are
going through, right? Let's see where we're at. Avion Terrell, quarterback from Clemson, another defensive tackle off the list. Lee Hunter goes to the Panthers, another Texas Tech kid. The Jets are on the clock right now, so we'll see what the Jets do. But yeah, let's talk about, since one of my kids is trying to bust my balls here, let's talk about what happened in Boston this week. What happened in Boston this week? The marathon, right? Was it the marathon in Boston? Oh, wait. It was the Boston Massacre. Isn't Patriots Day the anniversary of the Boston Massacre?
No comment.
No, is it not? No, nobody is worried about them Jets. But isn't Patriots Day? I do believe Patriots Day is the day that marks the Boston Massacre, the start of the revolution. I could be wrong. I thought it was. I'm not a Bostonian. I'm not a masshole, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I'm pretty up on my history.
No.
What was it?
Commemorates the Battle of Lexington.
Oh, Lexington and Concord. Yeah, that's why I should have known that. I'm dope because I did the Tough Ruck last year, and we did it in Lexington and Concord. So yes, I'm done.
Yeah, one was April 19th, the other was March 5th.
Yes. Okay, so,
around the same time.
But you know what? But there was a Boston Massacre this week.
You were in the ballpark.
I was. There was a Boston Massacre in Boston this week, and it was the New York Yankees absolutely raking the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox are a hot mess right now. Hot ass mess. They can't do anything. They scored 3 runs in 3 games. They're a mess. And then we're going to play another mess. Another last place team this weekend. We're in Houston. We're padding that lead. But I digress. We will not talk about that. I just wanted to bring it up because I would be remiss if I did not bring up the Yankees sweeping the Red Sox in Boston.
Well, they're not doing so well right now.
That's
so,
okay. That's all right. I'm all right with that.
You know, every dog has their day sometimes.
They do.
You know,
they do. They're not the Sox they're not doing well. In fact,
my Sox are like your Giants.
That is not the Giants
pretty
aren't
close.
The Giants aren't that bad.
It's pretty close.
I read today that the Red Sox fan. I read today that the Red Sox are in a historic, for their franchise, historic offensive slump. And listen, I'm here to tell you, 'cause I'm a baseball guy first and foremost. I guess I'm a Yankees fan, but I'm a baseball guy first and foremost. I will tell you honestly, I will give you my honest opinion. In 2 years, the Red Sox are going to be a problem. The Red Sox, and maybe even next year, because the Red Sox have a lot of young talent. They're loaded with young talent, but that's their problem right now. The kids are too young.
Well, they also have like a huge injury issue. And then, if you look back in the history of the Red Sox, they were set up as a gentleman's league. They didn't really take value in winning games.
Well, they still don't, because John Henry is too concerned about the Prem.
Yeah.
About Liverpool and whatever else he's got. Does he still have his racing team? Does he still have Faust Fenway Racing? Whatever. But he's concerned with everything but the Red Sox. But I do. Other than winning 3 games in Boston, my favorite thing this week was the Red Sox fans chanting "Sell the team." But the other thing was the Red Sox fans chanting "Yankees suck" like they always do, as Giancarlo Stanton hits one to the moon, hits it onto the the Mass Pike, hits it onto 90 over the cask and flagon onto 90 as the Red Sox fans are chanting "Yankees suck." He hits a 3-run home run. What a bunch of tools.
And that's one of the things, like, I don't care what team you have, but the love of baseball and the rivalry is so great.
Yes, absolutely. That's why we love these things. That is why.
But we need middle relievers at this point.
You need, well, listen,
I need a lot.
Your starting pitching is very good. That's where you right now, that gives you a chance, right? Because you have good starting pitching. Because the Blue Jays are a perfect example of they're a ton of talent offensively, but they have no pitching. Like their entire pitching staff is hurt, and the guys they have now are just bums. And I can't be happier. The Blue Jays are ass. The Red Sox are ass. The Houston Astros are ass. The Mets are ass. Every team that I hate is ass, and I love it. I hope that the football season goes this way. The Cowboys, the Eagles, the Patriots. No, I'm sorry, I don't hate the Patriots. I'm just.
Hey, listen. At least we can kick field goals.
At least, but you had a kicker. I didn't even have. We had like the guy. They picked the guy out of a parking lot to kick field goals this year because they had Dable going into games with no kicker. Oh, the Jets. Hey, listen, Jets just even further bumped their grade up in the draft. They just picked D'Angelo Pons, who was a junior cornerback out of Indiana. That kid is very good. If you watched the national championship, he had a great game. That's a good pick for the Jets. Jets are killing it, man. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the Jets. They're still going to be ass, but I'm happy for them because they're building it. And I like Aaron Glenn. I hope he does well.
We got J.M. Gonzalez popped in, and
that's my guy, dude.
Everybody should experience at least once visiting Fenway with the Sox and the Yankees.
I have done so numerous times, and it is always a good time. Well, I will say this. The heat of that rivalry no longer exists for now.
Oh, it's still there. It's just the Red Sox fans don't have anything to talk shit about right now.
They do not. The Red Sox fans do not have anything.
I'm a Sox fan.
I know you are.
Die hard.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is what it is. That's the ups and downs of teams.
It doesn't have the heat. Doesn't have the.
We don't have the oomph.
There's no venom when you go to the. Like, I'm not even scared to go. I mean, I was never scared to go, but I don't even like look over my shoulder at Fenway anymore. Right? It's ever since you guys did that thing back in that year that we don't talk about. The rivalry has been a little bit. It got a little fun. Oh, by the way, Yanks just took a 3-0 lead in Houston. That's one. Jazz Chisholm with a 2-run single. Hello. But ever since 2004, it hasn't been the same. You guys finally beat us, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm over it. No more. I don't hate on the Sox anymore. Whatever. I hate the Blue Jays instead.
Everybody hates the Blue Jays.
I passionately hate the Blue Jays.
That's like, you can fly Southwest or you can fly a Velo.
Yeah. Right. Like them, they love when they lose because they are on a tremendous losing streak. The country of Canada, when they lose, they like to say, "Well, the better team lost." Yeah, not on the scoreboard, my friend. Right when they lost the World Series to the Dodgers last year, oh, the better team lost. Nope, better team won. That's why they're hoisting the trophy in the Olympics, the gold medal game. They lost, and their little salty Canadian maple flavored tears were, well, the better team lost. Nope, no, it didn't. We have the gold medal to prove it. They like to say that up there, right? That's how they make. They're that meme with the guy that's crying with the mask with a happy face. That's Canada. Just slap a big red maple leaf on it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this one thing. So I was looking up, getting into the groove for baseball season because I love baseball. It's one of those things that I absolutely love. I'm going to bring myself in the shot real quick. So one of the big things that everybody's talking about is the Yankees 2.59 ERA. And the other thing they're talking about is the Red Sox offensive woes. The 2 runs in pretty much all the games they played.
Well, they scored 2 runs last night. And
that's all the runs.
And they had one. They scored 1 in the 9th inning on Wednesday night.
Yeah,
and they got shut out on. They got shut out on Tuesday night.
Yeah, that's not a good average.
It's not good.
That's good
actually
at all.
Terrible.
People are going to get fired.
Another linebacker off the board, by the way. This Jake Golday from Cincinnati goes to the Minnesota Vikings at 19. The Packers pick is in, and the Indianapolis Colts are once again on the clock here in round 2. We're already at pick 53. Right, 53. We started at when I walked in the door here a few minutes ago. We were at pick number 33, and we're already 20 picks into this draft because you get 5 minutes now. I think you get 5 minutes. Last night was 8 minutes. They sped it up. Remember last night at one point, like the Titans were having their pick announced, right? Because they picked the Carnell Tate from Ohio State, and they were talking to him, and then the Giants were on the clock. And then the Giants pick was in, and then they were still talking to the Titans people. And then next thing you know, the Browns are on the clock, and then the Browns pickers. And they had 2 picks in the chute, and they're still talking to the 4 pick. And then they got the stupid band playing. Like, come on, man, let's move it along here. So I feel like the NFL is trying to figure it out because they changed the rule to stop making the first round take like 17 hours. Like, because tonight you speed it up even more. You get less time than you had last night. Hopefully they figured it out. And then tomorrow you have 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you have 4 rounds tomorrow. And I do believe there's 2 minutes. I think you have 2 minutes to pick. I could be wrong. Somebody will correct me if I am. Trust me, it's the internet. So yeah, I mean, listen, guys, I've been on for a while, or holy cow. I've already been on for almost an hour.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to talk Giants football again. The season is officially kicked off. We are in day 2 of the NFL season for 2026. The draft is in full swing. I am going to continue to watch this draft. I'm actually going off to do. I'll talk to you offline after this. I might actually go and do something pretty cool tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited about.
Take a nap.
Well, at my age, taking a nap is absolutely something cool to do.
So I got a couple things that couple of the behind the scenes buzz that's happening right now.
Okay,
and they got with Carson Beck watch with Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson off the board. Teams like Arizona Cardinals,
Pittsburgh Steelers,
New York Jets are reporting eyeing Carson Beck as a big quarterback domino to fall.
That's interesting.
The other thing is the secondary shakeup from ESPN right now is saying that the quarterback blitz is imminent. The 2 corners went in round 1 that leaves a deep pool for talent. Averion Terrell and Jamad McCoy expected triggered rapid fire picks, potential trade ups early in second.
Yeah, Giants do not have a 3rd round pick. You guys did not pick that up. So
Did
fans can go take a nap.
Did anybody cover a rumor indicating the Eagles swiped wide receiver Lamont just before?
What are you talking about?
Eagles Steelers.
Well, the Eagles last night actually they picked that Mekhi Lemon from the USC.
Yeah,
That kid's a stud.
Yeah,
the Eagles always listen. I have a saying for this, and I won't say it on the air because it's inappropriate. But the Eagles are lucky, man. They always, I don't know. They always come out smelling like roses, man. They roll in shit and smell like roses. That's what I'll say because the other one is not. It's less appropriate than that. But Mekhi Lemon was. I would love to have had that kid, and the Eagles always get him because the Eagles are trading AJ Brown to the Patriots. So, and we'll see how that works out.
It's definitely going to be a shakeup for the season. See what happens.
Yeah, 100%. I absolutely agree with that.
I think the chemistry and the cultures are starting to jive.
Yeah,
with some teams. Giants is one of them.
Yep, that's a huge culture shift in that organization, and that also sways. I think that makes the NFC East a pretty good division, right? Because Washington's been on the rise. You got the Cowboys who are always hanging around. They don't ever do shit, but they're always hanging around. And the Eagles, a top 5 team in the NFL. So, I mean, the NFC East is on the up. I love it. So, just real quick, guys, I just want to go over a couple things before I get to the quarterbacks, and then we'll wrap this up. A couple picks other than the Giants that I really liked last night, and I thought were great picks for the teams that got them. A lot of people are high on the Sonny Styles thing to Washington. I didn't love that pick because I feel like Styles' knee is going to be a problem or could be a problem potentially. But I did like Jordan Tyson, who I thought the Giants might take if Reese was not available. The wide receiver out of Arizona State. That's a great pick by the Saints. I said the Cleveland Browns killed the draft last night. Spencer Fano, another Pacific Islander out of Utah, another stud lineman. Him and Malioa were the two good. They went back to back. They were the two best linemen, offensive linemen in the first round. I mean, I hate to say it, but Caleb Downs was a great pick by the Cowboys. They moved up to 11 to get him. That was cool. Low key, a lot of people are killing the Rams for this, and low key, the Rams, I feel like, made a great pick last night. And I wish my buddy Kev was here because Kev is my friend Kev is the smartest football person I know. Like, this dude legitimately should be working on ESPN talking about the draft. He's better than Mel Kiper Jr. but Mel Kiper Jr. sucks. But Kev is a smart dude, and you can give him a name, and he'll tell you everything you need to know about that guy. But I would want to hear what Kev has to say about the Los Angeles Rams drafting in the first round Ty Simpson, the quarterback from Alabama, who is a good young quarterback. But I don't think anybody had him that high. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they might have been able to get him later, but they wanted their guy because Matthew Stafford is not getting any younger, right? I had someone saying I didn't want Hood. I wanted to trade up and get McDonald. But I can understand that. I can understand, but Hood's a good pick. We needed a corner. But we also need to stop the run, so I can understand that. But I like the Ty Simpson to the Rams to eventually be Matthew Stafford's replacement. I did like the Ravens sneaking in, picking up Ioane, the kid from Penn State, the guard from Penn State. There was one more. Where? Obviously, we talked about the Eagles with Mekhi Lemon. That's a great pickup. Late in the first. Oh, there it is. The Browns again. The Browns. KC Concepcion, the receiver out of Texas A&M. I watched that kid play last year. That kid can ball. I like it. I love that. That's a great pick. Good for them. The Browns. Listen, they're going to end up screwing it up anyway. We all know this, but at least they didn't pick a quarterback. Because you know the deal with Cleveland quarterbacks. Because
do you think in Cleveland they look at all these Ohio State players going to other teams?
And then why don't they come to
and they go
Because the
Why can't we have
because the Browns don't know how to draft. The Browns don't know how to draft. Giant fans bitch that we don't know how to draft. Well, you could be a Browns fan. You could be wearing that jersey with the quarterbacks that they drafted as a list of names all the way down. The guy made the jersey. So I don't know. I like it. And real quick before we wrap this up, guys, I got to talk about quarterbacks, right? We talked about Simpson. There's obviously the number one quarterback in the draft. Fernando Mendoza went to the Raiders. That was not terribly kept secret. It's not even a secret. I mean, listen, the kid came out of nowhere. I mean, you kind of knew who he was if you watch college football, but the average fan, the casual college football fan, probably never heard of him before until last year. He led Indiana to his first national championship on an unprecedented run. That was amazing to watch. You know, I love Big Ten football, being a Penn State guy. I like the SEC because I like Tennessee. And that's good football, and that kid is a stud. And he's going to be good for the Raiders. I feel like they need to get him some weapons out there, but I feel like he's going to be good, and I like it. We talked about other quarterbacks, right? Who's the kid from Vandy? Diego Pavia, right? Is anybody pick that guy? Is anybody going to pick that guy? Is he going to get picked in the draft? He's kind of small, so I feel like he's not going to get.
There's a couple small guys that haven't been picked yet.
Yeah, but I feel like Diego Pavia is not going to. Because remember the whole thing with the Heisman Trophy? He was pissed off about the Heisman Trophy. Like, bro, just be lucky you had the season you did. You did not deserve the Heisman Trophy. I'm sorry. And then he acted the way he did, and then he had to apologize and the whole thing. Is anybody going to pick Diego Pavia? Who's out there? Listen, this guy Dave Wanze said we need a safety and a replacement for Wandale and Lawrence. Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that because there's 4 more rounds in the draft, like 5 more rounds, right? After 2, we don't have the picks, so we only have 4 rounds, but we have multiple picks in a couple of the rounds. So relax. A lot of these guys that are really good are not first or second rounders that we have. That they're in the NFL stars. They're not first and second rounders. They're picked later in the draft. Be patient, man. We're not going to pick the entire team. Can't get all of our needs in the first round. In the second round, we'll get there. I promise. I feel like Harbaugh and Shane working together. They know what they're doing. They're going to be fine. Give us a chance.
You know, Bobby. You know he's 5'10".
I did know that. But I mean, I'm 5'10".
Well, yeah. So, like,
for a football player, I'd be short. Like,
if you put on that helmet behind you right now and some pads and go on the field.
Yeah, but I'm also probably a more husky dude than I'm a bigger dude than that.
Like
guy.
A bulldog.
Yeah, I'm not a quarterback anyway. I was a running back and a linebacker. But I'm 5'10", but I'm built for lacrosse and hockey. I'm not built for football.
It says it's projected that he's going to go late round 6 or 7.
Okay, I would see that. I mean, I was going to say if he's going to get picked, it'll probably be a late round or he'll be a free agent, undrafted free agent. What about now? You're saying Carson Beck? They're going to pick someone. Is he going to be second round? Is he a second rounder though? I mean, he was kind of mid as shit for years because he had injuries or whatever. But his run in the playoffs this year was phenomenal in Miami. That was some good football, man. And his draft stock must have skyrocketed after the college football playoff because he played very well. And everybody was waiting for that shoe to drop. I was hand up accountability on that one. I was waiting for Carson Beck to drop the ball, literally and figuratively. He almost threw an interception at the end of the national championship before he went on that scoring drive. He almost threw a pick, and he was lucky that he didn't get picked, and he almost did it. But I was rooting for him, and I uncharacteristically rooting for that guy, even because he went to Georgia. But I was rooting for him because I wanted to see Miami win the national championship. So, yeah, listen, guys, who are joining late on TikTok asking me about what I think of the draft choices. I gave the Giants a B- so far in the draft with their 3 picks. The professionals online, as my producer looked up, they gave the Giants a B+. So I actually underrated their draft, if you want to say that. I mean, I guess it's tomato with a B- and B+, but I thought a B overall is a pretty good grade. Right? We'll see what they do. Again, no 3rd round pick unless they make a trade with somebody, because we do have draft capital. Let's see. I'm going to go through it right now before I lock it up here. We have the 105th pick in the 4th round. We have the 145th pick in the 5th round. I thought we had more. Yeah, we do. And in the 6th round, we have the 186th pick, we have the 192nd pick, and the 193rd pick. So we pick back to back in the 6th round. You can get.
We'll get to that next Friday.
Maybe they'll get to that next Friday, but you can get quality, productive dudes in the 6th round. I mean, listen, everybody knows the story about the GOAT, right? Everybody knows Tom Brady, 199th pick overall. Come on, man.
Speaking about Tom Brady, Pat's pick is in.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So-
another. Oh, see, now I don't. So the Colts went another linebacker off the board, CJ Allen out of Georgia. That's a good pick. I don't understand this pick for the Eagles, though. Eagles went tight end, the tight end of Vandy. That kid's a baller, but I don't know. I don't understand. Do the Eagles know something that we don't know? Because the Eagles have one of the better tight ends in the league. Because that dude is always that guy's like 7'11". He's like, they're always open. At least when they play the Giants, that guy is always open. Just Jalen Hurts never can't throw a ball to him because he throws it over his head.
7-Eleven is not always open. It's 24/7.
Not consecutively. Yeah, Patriots pick is in. We're gonna wrap this up here. I want to see there it is. Gabe Jackas, another edge rusher. So was Vrabel there tonight?
I don't know.
Because I know he's not going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to call him.
Was Diana Rossini with him?
I don't know.
Listen, that
I'll
whole
shoot
thing
them.
is so
I'll shoot them.
dumb.
a
I don't even
text
want to
afterwards.
give. I don't want to even give that any time. But we have to kind of mention that it's the whole thing is dumb. It's not dumb for the families. It's not dumb for the kids. But the whole media, the way the media is treating this, is like, who gives a shit, right? Two grown adults making bad choices together. They didn't hurt anybody. They didn't physically harm anybody.
Well, it's
And
kind
It's
of
between
like
them and their families. Like,
it's
why do
kinda-
we care?
it's kind of like the dude and his secretary at the concert.
Yeah, like why do we care? Who gives a shit? I don't care. I don't care if it's him. I don't care if whoever it is. You are a grown ass man. You made a decision. Now you got to have some hand up accountability, and you're gonna have to face the music. Now you gotta have to go to counseling, and maybe your wife won't leave you. But dude, you made a choice. Period. It has nothing to do with football. Period. End of discussion. That's like I'm not giving it any more airtime. It's dumb. Don't care. I did. Somebody said on Instagram today, well, what kind of inside information was she giving him? She's a reporter. She's not giving him inside information. He wasn't sleeping with the granddaughter of the Chiefs owner, who's an absolute rocket, by the way. He wasn't sleeping with anybody with any real information. It was an NFL insider. Like that would be like you sleeping with Adam Schefter.
So here's the thing. So that came out in 2026. Those photos are from 2020. 6 years later, you're trying to dig up dirt on somebody.
Dumb. Hey, listen, guys, please.
Whatever happened with the legal stuff with some of the players? Remember that?
Yeah.
It's always like right before the Super Bowl.
It always is. So dumb.
We should have deflated the footballs.
AJ, do you think we get another pick tonight? I don't know. I mean, we have draft capital. We might give up a couple late picks to move up into the 3rd round. I don't know. It's hard to say. Hard to say. It's this is so unpredictable. I would like to see them move up a little bit and pick. Why did our Instagram stream end?
What?
Why did Instagram go off?
I'm not sure.
Oh, anyway, guys, listen.
It said that I don't know if you timed out or whatnot
Yeah, maybe.
because of the count.
I've been on for a while. But listen, guys, I got to run because I'm
More than an
starving.
hour
Yeah.
disconnected.
All right, I'm starving, and I want to.
You got to up those followers so people on
I know.
TikTok. You got to
Yes. Hey,
go
guys,
over to
listen,
Instagram.
If you're watching on Instagram, if you're watching on TikTok, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. You keep following my followers have been going up. My likes have been going up. I'll be more active now because now we're back in the season.
We're back.
And we got some other things coming. So stay tuned for that. And I'll be back probably in a few weeks with another Giants pod. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on. The OTAs are happening. I like to see the players out there. Please, God, please, football guys, don't let everybody get hurt. Scat looks back, and I like it. We can get Neighbors back soon. So we'll get these rookies in. We'll get them signed, and let's get moving, baby. Let's go. Before you know it, Giant fans, we will be in summer training. We'll be in training camp, and then we'll be playing some meaningful football games in the summer. with our preseason games, which if you want my Giants tickets for the preseason games, I'll give them to you. And then we'll get to the real deal, man. The meat and potatoes. Why we do this show. The season will be upon us. I'm not trying to rush my summer because there's a lot of golf to be played, a lot of baseball games to go to. But man, I cannot wait for the fall. I cannot wait for the Giants season. It is going to be so much fun. It's going to be that first game is going to be so much energy in the building, and I can't wait. So,
where do you think Patrick Paul is going to land?
I don't know. I don't know who needs him. There's so many teams that need. I don't know. I don't know. But listen, I got to wrap this up, guys, because it's been a while. But thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Please, if you watched and you like the show and you want to keep up on it, give me a follow, give it a like. Please share it with your friends on your socials. Hey, JM's going to breakfast at VRP tomorrow.
Yeah, a little breakfast buffet at Veterans Rally Point up in the industrial park. Thanks for the shout out there.
That's right. Yeah,
I appreciate free that. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, please, guys, TikTokers, if you like the show, please give me a follow. Please share it with your friends if you liked it. I'll be putting some clips out from the show here probably later, but I would appreciate if you could spread the word and let's get this ball rolling. Let's light this candle on the 2026 season, guys. So for my awesome producer, Ryan Landry, I am Scott Solfryer, signing off until next time, Giant fans. Wu-Tang's for the children, baby. Have a great weekend.